Hi guys, it's Kat at Kat Reviews Books. I am back with another review. Today we will be talking about No Escape from Maren Stoffels. Hopefully I have said that last name right. It might be Stoffels. Please, if somebody knows, let me know down in the comments so I can fix it for future reference. I listened to this as an audiobook. I picked up this arc at work a while ago since it didn't seem like anybody else was interested at the time. It is marketed as a YA-like thriller. I listened to the audiobook because I was doing chores and it was a 4-hour audiobook, so I finished it like nothing because I listened at 2 times speed. So overall I gave this a 3.5 star. I could see why it would be put in the YA category, but to me this felt like it almost could have been in a young readers category in the aspect of like 5th to 8th grade probably could have read this. My general overview of it was that the characters were sort of coming off as, I don't want to say they were coming off as annoying, but they were coming off as being younger, of course, as they should have been. I felt like some of the things about this book were just not clicking for me. The general plot of this is that they get invited to this new escape room and they get to bring one best friend, but the whole thing about it is giving off weird, suspicious vibes, and the fact that they didn't even question it when they went into the escape room is weird for me. Characters didn't feel flat or anything. They just felt like they hadn't reached the maturity I felt like they needed to for some of the things that happened in this book. It was a bit traumatizing for them. Or I guess I shouldn't say it was a bit, it was traumatizing for them. But as a general overview, that is what I will give you, 3.5 stars. If you don't mind spoilers or don't mind me actually talking about the book, now is the time to stay, otherwise you may scroll away at this moment. So getting into the actual book, basic plot, 2 main characters, Lexi and Bo, get invited to this weird escape room in weird ways. The escape room is Escape Room 2.0, and they get invited by this mysterious woman who is wearing all red, so they call her Red. She leaves a card either on their bike or directly hands it to them and invites them to bring their best friend. The card doesn't have anything outside of, a phone number for them to call, so they both call it, and they're both answering to a robotic voice that's just like, what's your name? What's your best friend's name? Okay, now you're expected to be here at this escape room at this time on this date. So again, weirder that they even went for it, weirder that they didn't question it at all. They show up, and as per usual with escape rooms, they have to put their phone in a box, they have to leave all their personal belongings, etc. Then they get inside, after being told that their 2 teams were going to be competing against each other, but the best friends have to, pair together. So Bo and Lexi end up pairing together, even though they've never met before this point. And Zora and Tess, the 2 best friends that were invited to come with those 2, have to pair up together. Once they get inside, it's a lot of weird stuff going on from the get-go. For example, there are 3 coffins in the very first room that you walk into, and there is glass that you can see the other team. You can't hear them and they can't hear you, but you can see each other. So if one of you solves the clue before the other team does, you can copy. Then they go through this whole ordeal and everything. There are talking paintings, closing walls that close in on you. They can buy clues and punish the other team, things like that. Towards the end of the book, one of the girls actually gets into the last coffin because that's the way to escape. And they all get rescued from the escape room. Nobody loses any body parts or anything like that. So it's a very light psychological thriller, I would say. But at the very end of the book, it is told from Red's perspective, after having the whole book been from a case perspective of Lexi getting talked to. And Lexi goes through EMDR, which is supposed to, help you forget about traumatizing events and everything. So it's told between that perspective, and then Bo and Lexi and Tess's perspective. I think Zora also has a chapter in here. But at the very end, in Red's perspective, it talks about a case from 1999 where she got left alone in a bunker for a day and a half because her best friend didn't want to tell her parents that she was out with boys and everything. And then it's talking about how Escape Room 2.0 was to save these kids. It was to give them life back. it does have mentions of suicide and stuff like that throughout the book. So I don't know if it's supposed to be like, this escape room is showing you who your true friends are, and it's showing you that there's a lot to life that you are missing, so like, stay with us is sort of the vibe I was getting, which is not at all what I was expecting to go into this. There was also a weird bit where they were talking about how Tess has a shadow, which just creates things that she can't see and everything. So I just felt like I didn't have a clue as to what was going on with her. The whole thing just kind of, it wasn't a bad read, and I felt like it could have been really good. There were a lot of things that wasn't quite reaching me. I feel like if you were a younger audience, for sure, maybe you would enjoy this more, but as an older audience, this wasn't really it for me overall. So again, 3.5 stars. Didn't hate it, didn't love it. It's not gonna be my favorite book of the year. But that is it for that review. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you've read the book, if you have any thoughts on it. I appreciate you taking the time to watch. Have a good day. Goodbye.